Hi guys, welcome to my channel Lush Gardener. I hope you guys are fine and are safe. So I wanted to give you guys a little bit more details about the leaf propagation. Now I think this leaf propagation, the leaves were taken almost 2 or 3 weeks back, and a lot of people tell me that they want to mist their mother leaf because they're not putting out any roots. Now you can see this is a dry box. There is no water, there is no soil. It has been kept in indirect bright light, but you will be able to see. Now there are few mealy bugs that I have to definitely take care, but depending upon when the leaves were taken, because I've added some leaves that were added later as well, so they have not rooted yet, but you can see majority of them that have been in this box for almost 2 weeks have already started to put out roots and pups. Again guys, it depends from variety to variety and also the type of leaf. Some leaves, even if you have taken the leaves from the same mother plant, it's not necessary that all of them will root at the same time or all of them will put out the pups at the same time. In most cases it does happen, but it's not necessary that it has to happen. Now you can see this is completely dry. There is no soil, there is not a single drop of water. I do not mist my mother leaves, and you can see most of them have started to put out pups and roots in this dry container itself. You can see no misting, nothing. As you can see, some of them have really long roots. Now this one does not have a pup, and we can't do much about it because it's up to the leaf whether it wants to put out the roots first or the pups first or both together. At times they tend to put out both together. As you can see, few of these examples over here, the roots and the pup both are present. It completely depends upon the leaf, whereas this one you can see it does not have any roots, it only has a pup. So we can't do much about it. It all depends upon the leaf, whether it wants to, what is the first thing it wants to do, whether it wants to put out the roots or the pups. But if the roots and pups come out together, it makes our life much easy because it's much easy to take care, but we cannot force them to do that. It all depends upon their growing conditions. You can see this one is another one that only has roots but no pup. So there are a couple of them that only have roots but there are no pups, so all we have to do is just wait. Probably this one is about to put out a pup. You can see this. So it all depends, and you can see it's completely dry, there is no water at all, and they have all started. So this is something that I wanted to tell you guys, because a lot of people who are just starting off with leaf propagation, they think that it's very important to mist the mother leaf, only then the roots will appear. You can see this is completely bone dry, not a single drop of water, and you can see they have already started their journey. Most of them already have pups, so all you have to do is just leave them in a corner in a bright place, because otherwise they will start to, the pups will start to they will start to stretch. You can see these pups are very compact because they are kept in indirect bright light. So you can see how compact they are. So they have to be kept in indirect bright light so that they do not start to stretch. But the roots have all started to appear, so I'm going to wait for some more days and then I will transfer them to soil. You can see most of them have the roots and the pup. So the ones that have roots and pups and the ones that have only roots, I will transfer them to the soil, but the ones that only have pup or the ones that have not propagated yet, I will leave them in this container as it is. Another important thing that I also wanted to tell you guys, now this is my Echeveria zesta. If you remember, I had done the leaf propagation some time back. Now they're completely calloused. Now there is another thing that I wanted to show you guys as well. Now you can see at the tip where the roots are supposed to come out, they have turned slightly red in color. Now guys, the moment you notice that they are turning red at the base where the roots tend to come out, when you tend to see it's turning red, it means that within a couple of days or probably a week or so, it will start to root. When you tend to see that it's turning red, now not all of the leaves will have the same feature, but some of them do tend to show that they are turning red. Now the moment you start noticing they're turning red, it means that they are either going to put out the roots, or they're either going to put out the pups, or they're going to put out both together. So this is one step closer of you propagating your succulent leaf successfully. So this is an indication. So the moment you notice that the tips are turning red in color, as you can see here, it is much more visible. In some leaves it's not very visible, but in some leaves it's very visible. But the moment you start noticing that the tips are turning slightly reddish in color, as you can see over here and this one as well, it means that in couple of days or probably a week or so, they are going to start putting out the roots or the pups or both together. So that is a very good indication for you to understand, because at times we tend to stare at the succulent leaves like what is happening next, but the moment you're going to see something like this, the reddish thing, because these are all already calloused, so I don't have to be worried. They already calloused long back, 2 to 3 days back. After they were plucked, they had already calloused, so now they are turning slightly pink in color at the edge. So this indicates that very soon they are going to put out either the roots or pups or both together. So that is a good indication that you can look out for. Now over here I have the same batch. Now this batch was recently made, as you all know, because these were in this for a very long time, probably 2 or 3 weeks. That's why they have already started to root and put out pups. But this was a recent batch, so that's why they have not yet rooted, but they are completely calloused by this point, because I can see that they have already calloused. And now I want to show you the same thing what I just spoke about, the red markings. Now you can see over here a very tiny bit. I'll just zoom in a little bit so that it's going to be a little bit more visible for you. So you can see that red spots. So either it's going to be a pup, most probably this is going to be a pup, because it's slightly on the upper portion, the red dot. So that is going to produce a pup, most probably 90% that will be a pup, and eventually it will start putting out the roots. Now, as I've said this earlier as well, not everything is going to be successful in this. There can be a little bit of casualties. So this one is the first casualty that I've seen. It is turned mushy and dark in color. So this will not get propagated. I have another one over here. This one will also not get propagated, so I will trash it very soon. But majority of them have started to, they have already calloused, and these were the ones that had edema. I have put them as well. And over here you can see this one is also starting to turn slightly red in color. So here you can see this is going to be much more visible on these ones. You can see they have already started turning red at the edges, which means that very soon they are going to get propagated. Another one over here, this is much more visible. You can see it is red at the base, which means that it is soon going to put out either the roots, pups, or both together. So this is how you can identify, because these have all been calloused by now, because it's been almost 1 week, over a week. So they have all calloused, and again now they are going to get propagate at a different rate, because we have different varieties of leaves over here. Some are Echeveria, some are Graptoverias, some are sedums, some are Graptopelaums, and some are Echeverias. So they are going to get propagated accordingly. Even the Pachophytums, the moonstones, and the lavender pebble as well, they are doing quite well. I have sprinkled some dry cinnamon powder just so that the mealybugs do not come in, because usually the mealybugs tend to attack leaf propagation quite quick. So I've sprinkled some dry cinnamon powder on the leaves and in the soil as well, so that it can protect them from mealybug attack. But again, the attack is still going to happen as and when the roots appear, so we have to keep a close eye. So guys, that was all about it. As I've said this earlier as well, it is going to take a very long time. It's a very long process, so you need to have lots of patience. Only water your arrangement when you tend to see roots. Do not miss the mother leaf, otherwise the mother leaf is going to turn mushy like this. They usually turn mushy like this when they come in contact with water, but most of them are doing quite well. I'm pretty excited about the Echeveria zesta. You can see the tips have already started to turn red, which means it is soon going to put out either the roots or the pups or both. But when that happens, I will definitely keep you guys updated. So I'm not very sure. It might take probably 4 or 5 days, or it might even take a week, maybe 2 weeks, depending. So I will definitely keep you guys updated. So guys, I hope that this video was helpful to you. If it was, please hit the like button. If you're new to my channel, please consider subscribing to it. Until then, take care, stay safe, and keep planting.